Hey everybody, Justin Rowe here with the Boat Center. We are out on Pool 4 on the Mississippi. It's December, I'm not sure what day it is. I got Jason behind the camera. 19th. Week before Christmas, and we got a 40-degree day, so we figured we'd come down to the lake and see if we can catch a fish and run the new 2060 around, see what that does on the lake. And it's pretty cool. We've been running around a little bit in between fishing spots, and we started messing around with the trim tabs, which is it's not a new feature for this year, but it's something new to us. We discovered it a couple years ago, and now we're ordering boats with trim tabs on that because of what we found. So we're gonna take a couple minutes here, just run you through that. How the trim tabs work, what you're supposed to use them for, and why they're a feature that should be on your new WX series. So on the switch pad here, you're going to have two buttons. One's for the right side of the boat, one's for the left side of the boat. They both have indicator lights on each side of them. So when you're moving the trim tabs, and you can move them independently and at different levels for each side, the lights will tell you where that tab is at. So if you're making a long run and you've been running these, it's nice to be able to glance down and know exactly where they're at in the water column. The switch pad here, it has bow down or bow up. So what I like to do is read that way when you're driving down the lake. In order to understand what you want the boat to do, read bow down or bow up, and then if you want the bow to go down, which will set the front of the boat down in the water, you just run them down, and what that'll do is it'll put both those tabs down. It'll put pressure on the rear of the boat, which will bring the front end down and make it stick to the water. About the only time that I've done that is if you want to stay on plane at a low speed, you can run both of them down like this. This would be pretty extreme, but then you're able to stay on plane at a lower speed than you typically would. Another thing, probably what we'll use them most on a boat like this for is rough water ride. And let me reset these here. Every time you turn the key off, it'll reset them. It brings them up to zero. But what I was saying is what we will use them most of the time for is on a big body of water. If we're getting from point A to point B, and we've got quartering waves coming in at us, what we'll do is we will raise that side of the boat to allow those quartering waves to come underneath the boat and not hit the side of the boat directly. They'll hit more underneath the boat. So what we would do in that instance, if we had a quartering wave coming from this way, we would put the bow down, which when you do one side, putting the bow down on one side is actually just going to raise the whole side of that boat up. So whatever side is going down in the water, it's going to raise that side up. So it'll allow all those quartering waves, or maybe you've got a big wake from a big boat coming from the side. Stuff that trim tab down, and then that side of the boat will come up, and all those waves will go right underneath you. So you'll stay a lot more dry, and it'll be a lot smoother too. You'll eliminate any of that pounding. So another way we can use the trim tabs is to keep the boat on plane at a slower speed than it normally would. And I can back off on this boat about 20 miles an hour pretty comfortable. But if I run the trim tabs down, it will bring the front end of that boat down, which I don't know if you could see that in the video, but it brought the front of the boat down. And now I can stay on plane at about 14 miles an hour. So I can just stay on plane. I don't have to run the throttle at all. If I do bring those tabs back up, you might see the boat fall off plane right now. definitely pickups. See now, I brought them off plane, or I brought the tabs back up, and we'll just slowly start to fall off plane. And our wake gets much, much bigger than it would if you had the tabs down. But if I bring the tabs back down, it should bring that nose back down like that. See, we actually picked up speed just from running the tabs back down. You can see the tabs are all the way down right now. Hey everyone, Justin Rowe here. We are back in the store. We were down on the river here the last week now before Christmas, and ran out of daylight there for filming. And we couldn't show you on the water how the actuators actually worked and ran up and down, so you get a better picture of how they work in here. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to grab the controls up here at the dash, run these up and down, cycle them up and down. You'll be able to see exactly how far they'll run below the water line. And you can cycle them all the way down. They'll only let you go down so far, probably 2 to 3 inches maybe below the water, below the bottom of the boat, which will actually be in the water quite a ways. The water line sits about here. Now this should be all the way up. The other thing I wanted to show you too is if you do have them all the way down, which I'm going to put them back down again, once you turn off the key, it will cycle them back up to the all the way up, or the neutral position. So I'll show you that here too. So that's all the way down, and then I'm just going to simply turn the key off. And that brings it all the way back up. So once you start the engine again, it will always start out this way, so you don't have to remember where they were at. Thanks for watching our video. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Boat Center, or check us out at theboatcenter.com.